Okay, so I thought today I would do a couple more readings on my stories that I have on Kindle Vella. This one is actually the first one that I ever put on Vella. It's called The Chaos Agent, and I've actually done a couple readings of this one, but The Chaos Agent is actually my most popular story on Vella, and I'm still writing on it. I have 30 episodes right now, and I'm really attached to these characters for some reason. So I'm actually really enjoying writing this one. So I thought I would read episode 30, which is the newest one that I have on here, just to kind of catch everybody up on what's going on with my characters. So I'm going to do what I normally do. I'm going to read the synopsis, and then I'm going to jump right into episode 30, Sharing Secrets. The Chaos Agent. Amy is attempting to concentrate on herself, her mental health, and working through her traumatic past. The last thing she is thinking about is starting a new relationship with anyone. Enter Cade, a handsome, charismatic man who, against Amy's better judgment, hooks her with his intense, single-minded focus on winning her affection through any means necessary. What follows is an impulsive, obsessive, and dangerous descent into the dark world of a dominant and his submissive. Okay, here is episode 30. Amy recovered her composure quickly and picked up Lauren's wine glass, pouring a generous amount of the alcohol out for her. Yep, everything's fine. Lauren's eyes narrowed as she accepted the drink, watching Amy intently as she poured a glass for herself and settled onto the opposite end of the sofa. You don't seem fine. Amy looked at Lauren over the rim of the glass as she took a swallow, her hand shaking slightly and betraying her rattled state. I was just remembering some stuff that happened this afternoon. It got a little crazy. Lauren placed the container of food down on the table and scooted closer to her friend. Crazy good or bad? Amy twirled a lock of her hair, giving Lauren's question some serious thought. I mean, while everything was happening, it was amazing, like always. Cade is focused and intense and adventurous and sexy. Amy's voice trailed off. But Lauren prodded, her fingers twirling the stem of her own wine glass. Amy dropped her head back onto the couch cushion and stared up at the ceiling. But I'm just so confused about what I feel when I'm around him. Lauren allowed her friend to process her thoughts, choosing to remain silent. Amy let out a frustrated groan, turning her head to look at Lauren. When I'm with him, he makes me forget all the bullshit I'm currently dealing with, so that's a plus. Lauren nodded her agreement at Amy's assessment. But I just feel really disconnected from him when we're not having sex. There. She finally admitted to the reservation she was having. I don't really know anything about him. I thought that's what I wanted when we first got together, but it's starting to bother me. Lauren reached over and took Amy's hand in hers. So I guess it's safe to say that you're starting to get attached to Cade? Amy shrugged, taking a sip of her wine. Physically? Yes. It's hard not to, you know. He's a force. Lauren giggled, leaning her head against Amy's shoulder. I hate to admit it, but I feel the same way about Stefan. Amy was shocked at Lauren's confession. Nuh-uh. You? They both laughed. I didn't want this, obviously. I never let guys get this far with me. Emotionally, I should say, Lauren said. Amy readily agreed. Yes, I know that. Lauren continued, but Stefan calls me on my bullshit, you know? He's so patient with me when I start getting all up in my feelings and trying to push him away. It's like he can see right through me, which is frightening and comforting at the same time. Amy couldn't believe that Lauren, of all people, was revealing her vulnerability to her, and apparently to a man. So does this mean you're actually getting into a relationship with Stefan? Lauren pressed her lips together, but she couldn't hide the smile that she was forming. Possibly? Amy pulled her in for a hug. I am truly happy for you, sweetie. It's about damn time. Lauren laughed again, pulling away from Amy and swatting her arm. I guess we'll see how this plays out. She reached over and grabbed the container of lo mein again. So, if I'm doing this thing with Stefan, it only makes sense that my best friend and his best friend try to make it work too. Amy rolled her eyes. Well, you might want to tell Stefan that he needs to have a talk with his bestie about trying to actually have a conversation with a woman that doesn't lead to sex. Lauren busied herself with shoving more noodles into her mouth, but her expression clued Amy in on the fact that she wanted to say something and she had stopped herself. Suspicious, Amy caught Lauren's gaze. Spill it. What aren't you telling me? Okay, so that's the newest episode of The Chaos Agent. I'm gonna try and write another episode this weekend. It might be a little difficult because it's Veterans Day and stuff's going on, but I will try to do another episode and release it for next week. So if you want to read more of The Chaos Agent, get on Kindle Vella and just look up J. Eva Lee in the search bar and my story should pop up. Or you can go to my Linktree, which I share all the time on all my social media sites, and you can get to my pages that way.